So I record this only for YouTube. It's my after show. I call it Last Call because when you go to the bar and you've been there all night, which I know it's been a while for you guys as it's been for me, but back in the day when I used to go to bars and close them down at Last Call, you know, you've had a few to drink and you're very open with your life story. You're telling people about your pets. You might be showing strangers photos of your pets or, you know, crying in the bathroom. Who knows? Whatever, you know, people do at Last Call. But
it's so familiar. Yeah.
Whatever it is that people do at Last Call. So I have this after show and it's inspired by Inside the Actors Studio. Did you guys ever check out that show?
I do know what you're talking about, but I can't. This isn't like the one about the ferns, right?
No, that's the by the two. What is it? The by the two ferns. I love that, but I feel like that maybe that's satire on Inside the Actors Studio. I don't know. But Inside the Actors Studio was actually at the Pace University Actors Studio, their school for theater. And James Lipton would interview stars, like in the moment, the big stars of the time. And he would do so in front of an audience of acting students so that they could basically talk about their craft. And this is our craft. So I've taken inspiration from the questions James Lipton asked at the end of the show, and I've made them pet related.
Nice.
Oh, how brilliant. How exciting.
Fun.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys, and I do, for a few of them, you guys can answer together, but for these first two, I want answers separately because you're going to have different opinions probably. All right, the first one, and we're talking cats here. No, obviously, we're talking cats. What is your favorite breed?
Rescue.
Oh, yeah. Okay, how about your least favorite breed? And the reason I ask this question is to normalize that not all breeds are for all people. And it's okay to be like, that's a cool cat, but that's not for me.
Yeah.
I would go, I don't actually know that I don't like this breed, but I do know that cats, the people that get like Savannah cats or exotic cats, those cats have so much energy that there are very few people that live within four walls that can actually give that cat the enrichment that they need. So I know that I would not be able, with my current lifestyle, to give that cat the life that it deseres.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
I was actually thinking more along like Persian and Himalayan, like
they're little
because of that because of the health issues that they get there's I know there are a lot of breeds of cats, but I am not that familiar with breeds.
Yeah, same.
Neither one of us are. We're
40 to 70 breeds, depending on who you ask.
You know, Sphinx cats. You know, there are specific types of cats, and we're definitely not like anti-breeding by any means. We're pro responsible breeding, obviously, but our rescue babies, like they're just like all of them are just like we don't even know where they came from, and they're just like perfect. So it's like let's just
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you guys decide, and we'll care for you. Yeah.
Yes. That's how cats should come into your lives. Like it just should be like this cat, I'm ready for a cat. This cat's perfect, or this person matches me with a cat. Says, hey. So that's how I ended up with the foster kitties. My husband and I were actually arguing about something. I can't remember. It's been ages. And he was like, what can I do to like make it up to you? I know you're upset. Like, what can I do? Because he's such a good guy. And I was browsing Facebook and there was like 4 cats, like 4-day-old cats that needed a foster. And I was like, well, we can take in these cats. And he was like, done. He had no idea what taking in 4-day-old cats meant. He had never done it before. So we were up like every 3 hours, bottle babies, the whole 9, spending our own money because we didn't have a rescue that we were working with. Right. So, you know, he definitely did not do whatever it was again.
Whatever
it was.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. So
that's awesome.
True story. How I manipulated my husband into fostering cats. All right. Do your pets sleep in your bed?
Yes.
All of them?
Bigger bed.
All of them.
Sometimes all of them. The other night it was 5 of the 6 cats.
Yeah.
But we have. Here's the thing. We're like old ladies now, right? Like we have a queen size bed, and I have like a body pillow and she has like certain pillows that have to so for her lower back, right? And then we both have like
same
certain amount of pillows for our neck and back. right?
It's like 15 minutes to make
so
up
it's like to just make down the bed, it takes like 15 minutes. So like to figure it out, and then we're laying there, and all the cats come up, and they're laying all over us, and and then it's like, oh, I have to move. Oh, I have to move.
Very painful.
And then it's
Yeah.
So for 2022, I feel like we need to upgrade to a king size bed.
I'm telling you,
I think
if we could
California
find a California
Something.
king would be ideal. It's just that we are so in love with our bed. We have like the most amazing
It's like a round
bed.
platform.
It's a
bed
round
with
platform, and it's like it's perfect.
It's so great.
And we thought like this is going to be great because the cats can sleep on the platform because it's like the faux leather
Big
whatever.
round.
Oh, wow.
They can totally sleep. They don't. They do
Nope.
during the day, but
They
at
want to
night
be
they
on
want to
our
be in.
bodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Covers. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I don't sleep with my dogs because they're too old to do the stairs now. So it's mostly a child screaming in the middle of the night. Speaking of being woken up, who or what wakes you up in the morning?
It's usually
Pee?
Jay. Yeah.
I said pee. You said me.
Oh no, it is usually
So
Jay.
it's Jay needing to pee.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Usually before her alarm goes off, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
Why? Just hold it. Get 45 more minutes.
That's every day my son comes in and he's like, hey, it's time to wake up. It's like pitch black outside. I'm like, no, it's not. It's still dark. And this morning he comes in and he was like, it's time to wake up. I look over and it's bright. I'm like, oh. The other one was sleeping. He woke her up. Now the dogs are awake. Everybody needs to go potty. 5 creatures going potty at the same time, and you don't know who's going to go first. It's such a... And I'm like, I was dreaming. Yes. I was dreaming about like a vacation, and y'all woke me up. Cheers to whatever.
Oh my God. So is your... can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, so your mornings though, do you have like a routine? Like where do you find your peace and centeredness?
I don't. I don't. It's chaos from the moment they wake up. It's chaos. Like I try to like cuddle with them some mornings, but like my 4-year-old is a little hyperactive. Like genetics are strong with that one. And I'm not the hyperactive one. My husband is. And so my husband's all like, and my son is all, and my daughter and I are both like, oh, this is so much. And then it's just potty, brush your teeth. You have to tell them like 20 times to brush their teeth. You have to tell them 20 times to get dressed. Speaking of routines, we have like a morning routine and a bedtime routine. And we have like, I laminated it, type A personality, printed it out on Canva, laminated it, stuck it to the mirror in the bathroom, stuck it to the closet door in their room. Do you think that I have to remind them? It's been 2.5 years since I put that thing up for my son. I have to remind him every single day. Can you wash your hands before brushing your teeth, please? You just used the potty. Please brush your teeth. Don't eat the toothpaste. La 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 la. I could bore you to tears with this. The morning is chaotic. The best part of my day is dropping them off at school.
What's your mommy moment? What's your mommy moment? Do you have like is there a coffee that you make? Is there what is your like?
None. Like right now, it's none. I don't work out. I literally rush home to walk my dog, who is 14 and a half, and will hold it until I walk him. And he's so old that he can't really hold it. So if I take too long to take him for a walk, there's poop all over my house because he poops and walks at the same time because he's that old. So that's like literally, I drop them off at school and I'm like, they're at school. And then I drive home. So that 10 minutes between driving home and making sure my dog doesn't poop all over my house, that's my mommy moment.
Oh, wow. So do you follow Kat and Nat?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, you need to follow Kat and Nat.
Yes, I do. Parenting.
We also just need to extract you to Vegas for a weekend.
I know. You know what the funny thing is? I haven't. I haven't left my children ever. Like the longest I've been away was like a weekend, Labor Day weekend, I think. I went to a hotel. My husband was like, go. Like he travels about 50% of the time. So he has a lot of points. And he was like, I got you a hotel, go. And you know what I did? I edited all weekend and I worked all weekend, but it was quiet, which was nice. And I didn't have a dog pooping on the floor and a kid being like, wipe me. So that was nice. So like that was really nice, but that's as long as I've ever left my children. And my 4-year-old will be 4.5 here soon. And so my mom was like, come to Miami. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, I'll pay your ticket. But she wants me to help her downsize that week. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a vacation at all.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
You need to come to
I'm going to be posting stuff on Marketplace. That's not what I signed up for.
No. Oh my gosh. You and Jay, though, are literally two peas in a pod. Like she gets downtime and it's like, what can I do? What can I get done that I haven't? I have a list 3 miles long of things that I've thought about and products that I can start. And oh my goodness, so exciting. Yeah. No, I'm going to straight jacket both of you.
You know what's, yes.
Cocktails. Yeah.
And then we need like for you and my husband to have like a support group or something for people like living with people like us. Cause sometimes I get really irritated with him, but at the same time, I'm like, this is not easy. Like it's more militant here than at work. He's in the army.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a support group.
Right?
That admiration, you do realize you're the reason the world still turns. People like you guys are the reason the world still turns and the sun still comes up. I'm convinced.
It's true.
In this house, it is absolutely true. Like I'm constantly like, Chris, what would happen if I just like wasn't here one day? And he's like, I would be fine. I'm like, I don't know that you would be.
Jay's like,
do you even know how to pay the mortgage? Like,
how do you handle this? Right. She's like, if I ever say like, I would just, she was like, yeah, I would miss picking up your clothes and cleaning the tables and picking up all the paper towels that you think you're recycling.
That's honestly, Isabel, that's how I work myself through it is that I literally think that I would, if she were gone, like all the things that I wake up and are like, like I would miss that I have somebody to pick up after. I think that I would miss like, all those little things that everything would be perfect all the time, which I would love in one way, but in another way, I would really miss having that, all those things that
It's a beautiful legacy that I'm leaving.
Yes. The crumbs all over the place that you're not even eating and you have crumbs all over the place. I love that.
How are you dropping crumbs? You don't even have food.
I think they were stuck in my hair.
My daughter is the same way though. Oh my gosh. Like, and the thing is, second child, right? I'm like worn down. Like with my first, I was like kind of strict. I was like, you have to eat on your stand. My daughter's like, no. She's like eating chocolate all over the couch. And she's like, it's like dripping from her face. And she's like, no, I don't want to eat there. And I'm like, fine, here's a wipe. I give up. So, I mean, if something happened to Chris, my kids would ensure that there would still be crumbs and there would still be stuff to pick up and I would still have to remind somebody to do something like 4 times. Sorry, Chris. I don't know what hole you would leave behind, but that specifically is taken care of by the kids and the dog that poops all over the house. So, I got plenty to pick up. All right. So this is something that's kind of interesting. And I like to ask cat people this because people don't think of training cats.
Oh.
The cats can be trained. So what is your most used training cue with your cats? Like something that you ask them or that you tell them or that you do with them often?
Okay, so we are not very good at training our cats.
But we're starting.
We are starting because we've recently met Julie from Cat School. Who's amazing. And so now we have like the clicker and we have like the pointer and things like that. And we're starting. But we do have like our just normal things. Like Adrienne has this whistle that she does that's very loud and it's like this, like the circus
carnival
whistle. Carnival song.
I don't believe that it exists unless I hear it.
I can't whistle on. Well, I'll do it like this. Nick,
This is fun.
you don't
But the cats
understand
don't.
how weird my face looks when I whistle.
It
so-
does look really weird. I think you should do it on camera.
You should not. I haven't had to.
It's last call. Do it.
I can't smell and whistle at the same time. You can edit this, right? I mean, the gaps in between. Here we
No,
go.
I'm not gonna edit anything. This is gold.
Hold on. I can't stop laughing. I cannot whistle while I'm smiling. It's not how my mouth
Okay.
works. These are very important
Okay.
mouth muscles.
Okay.
Okay, so it is so high pitched that I don't even think Zoom picked it up, but I could hear it mostly. And your face looks perfectly beautiful and normal when you whistle. Like everybody looks like that when they whistle. That was excellent. Thank you very much for obliging me with that demonstration.
You know, it has not happened since I've refused to whistle on camera or like with a picture in 20 years, 15 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So this is, you know, I've had plenty to drink. And I'm
Breaking. Adrienne whistles on Covered in Pet Hairs. Last call. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. It wasn't nearly as loud as I usually can do because I was still fighting a smile. Man, though, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
it can
What's
get
really
too-
funny is that I have another question where people sometimes make noises. So I don't even know how you're going to follow that up. Like, I don't know. But okay, so what is your least used training command or cue with your cats? Again, you know, something that you say to them that may not be considered training necessarily, but something you say to them or you don't say to them, maybe because you don't like it, because you don't find the use for it, or something that you wish you used more.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the first question where I think that like Pooh Bear, I want to say this. So back to what we do.
Yes.
Do.
Pooh Bear knows that there's like this special time. He's our bathroom cat, right, that we talked about earlier. But he also, if I just tell him, hey, Pooh Bear, it's time, because we have our team meeting in the morning. Oh, morning. He comes down and that's when he gets his regular brushing. So routine is so important, and they completely understand. I'll be like, Pooh Bear, you want to come downstairs, Pooh Bear, whatever. I'm trying to think our least.
Do you say no?
Yes. Yes, we say no. We say no when they're getting in the Christmas tree. We say no when they are, like our two youngest, Jack, William, and Madison Grace, he will attack her, and
I will say,
we will just start screaming, stop, no, and go running.
I've got it. So Jack is our crazy little, we call him a bouncy monster. He's a beautiful little soul.
He has such a personality.
Such a personality. But our older boys, Oliver Twist and Pooh Bear, really fancy themselves like they want to dominate him. Basically, I'm not going to get too graphic here, but both of them will try to.
He's a bottom.
Hey, Jack. So here's the one that we shouldn't be using all the time. We always tell Jack, stop being so delicious.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop being so delicious.
Yeah.
He's just irresistibly delicious. No one can resist him.
They just want to like eat
They
him.
want to eat him alive. They literally will chew on him. They lick him.
They
It's
mount
like-
him.
They
And
mount him.
and he calls for it. And
They do this like weird chirping thing to each other.
Ooh.
And we're like, Jack, stop being so delicious. Stop it.
Yeah, like they have this weird communication that
It's
like
fun.
we've never heard our two oldest ever make these noises until Jack, and now they like make these noises at him, and he makes these noises back, and he whacks. We call him Whacker Jack because he's more like, and we're like, what? And then they go at it, and there's the mounting thing, and then there's the like licking and chewing and weird.
So stop
thing.
being so
Yeah.
delicious. That's the one. Stop being so delicious.
So his milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. I get it.
That's right.
I get it. I had a dog right there in that picture, right there. Her milkshake her milkshake brought all the boys to the yard, and it was like problematic. Like I could not take her to public places because all the dogs were like, "Ooh, who's that?"
Wow.
Oh,
What an angel.
Yeah, she was not an angel. She did not like it. She would bite their heads off. She was not easy, and she would have eaten herself a Dachshund one day at an event that I was throwing if I hadn't taken her home. I literally had to leave the event that I was hosting to take her home because she was about to eat herself a Doxy because he would not leave her alone. Okay. She had to stop being so delicious, and I had to like literally get in the car, drive her home, and come back to my event.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
When are you writing a book? When does the
Oh
book
my gosh. Oh gosh. Well, I was actually gonna ask you guys that. I need a book.
For 5 years.
I need a book with the title of your podcast.
Oh. You just inspired a new idea, girl.
Right.
Yes. And I need it to be a little bit memoir, a little bit cat tips.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
New project.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Adrienne. I didn't mean to give her any more projects. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I love all of our projects. I love them so much. I'm not nearly as task oriented and weird as Jae is, but I will say that I love this life. I love what we get to do so hard.
Yeah.
I literally can't believe it half the time. Cannot believe it half the time. And so new projects, especially ones that could be slightly entertaining and or helpful, count me in.
Yes. Okay, so you guys have to read the book that I just talked about, the Dale Ward's book, Raising the Worst Dog Ever, a Survival Guide. And she basically it's like half memoir, half like tips. So you can read it from start to finish with the chapters of the story and then like the follow-up on training and like tidbits. Or you could just read the story, or you could just read the training part. So she made it in a way that like kind of gives you a manual and a story at the same time, or separately. And I really like that idea for something like for you guys.
Oh my God, it's like a choose your own adventure book. Do you remember those?
Yes, exactly. And like right now I'm reading the book, and she sent it to me. It was very sweet. And I'm reading the story because I was so fascinated by her and her love of her dog. But like once I get a puppy, which I never would get because I know better, but like if I were to get a puppy, I would be reading those like training tips like every day over and over and over again. Like I don't believe she has children, but like if somebody wrote a parenting book like that, I would like devour it because it's kind of fun to just be like, oh, today I just feel like a story, or today I feel like learning something.
I love that so much. Maybe once the kids are grown, you can think about a puppy.
Oh, no, gosh, I'm so done with infancy and all. The only thing I would do again is raise neonatal kittens. That's the only thing I would do again, because there is nothing cuter. There is no mammal cuter than a baby kitten of any kind. Like,
no,
they're just so wonderful.
Yes, they are.
It's a special.
They are.
It's a.
And I had 100% success rate, which is not easy to have.
No, it's not.
I had five. Over the course of a year, I did 5, which, you know, it's scary. And the first set were 4 days old when I got them.
That is crazy.
That's really impressive because you're exactly right. Like their lives are in your hands, and there is so much you have to learn and do every few hours to make sure these little beautiful beings survive. It is a very spiritual experience.
Yes.
It was wonderful. And I'm so grateful that I was in the industry at the time, because I had so many people I could like text or email or like post on Facebook and had all these people commenting suggestions. I had a veterinarian that was wonderful, and the universe had my back because I actually picked them up at, I think it was like a McDonald's parking lot. And I thought the lady was going to do like an intro. She literally lowers her window and hands me a box. And I was like, okay. Because she had found them. She didn't want them. She had no idea what to do. The mom hadn't been seen. She thinks the mom had gotten hit by a car, blah, blah, blah. And so I went straight in this tiny town in Louisiana to the Tractor Supply. And who's in front of me? A veterinarian. He's like, what you got there? And I was like, oh, I guess they're 4-day-old kittens. He's like, yeah, they're about 4 days old. I can see that. And I'm like, how would you know? He's like, I'm a veterinarian. And then he ended up being our veterinarian for them later. He was in a different town, so I was able to go with him. But he that day was like, you need this. And I was like, okay. So I went home with a veterinarian's help.
God, whatever you want to call it.
Totally
So
meant to
good.
be.
So good.
Yes.
Yep. And they're happy living in a gorgeous home. 2 of them are in a gorgeous home in Woodbridge, Virginia with 2 friends. They're actually a gay couple, and they're friends of my husband's from West Point. One of them went to West Point. And so like
Your husband went to West Point?
Yes, my husband went to West Point.
That's a big butterfly moment for me. Yeah.
Big deal. Really?
Yes. I always wanted to go. You know, my SAT was not high enough to get into West Point.
Well, he almost flunked out of West Point, if that makes the story any better.
Really easy to do.
Yeah.
I want to see your man in his cadet uniform. Holy moly.
Oh my gosh. So I actually went, we had just started dating, and I went to his 10-year, 20-year? 20-year. It must have been 20. 10-year? 15-year? I can't remember. Reunion. 10-year reunion. And it was a 10-year reunion. And he had to wear his picture from his cadet days, and he had a full head of hair. My husband he's lost his hair a long time ago. And I was like, oh, who is this little snack? And obviously he was like underage, like not even, he wasn't like under the legal age of consent, but he was very young. And I was like in my mid 30s. And he was like, whoa, lady, like calm down. Because this is like a child. You're drooling over me as a child. And I was like, okay, but you were
a West Point cadet.
Yeah, he was a cutie patootie. And what's ironic or funny or sad or whatever is that his dad was like the dean of the history department at the time, and he actually almost flunked out because of his history. Not his dad was not his professor, but
no, but he almost embarrassed his father at West Point.
Yeah. And one of the things that he loves most about his dad is that his dad didn't make it about him. His dad was like, you got to make this right for you, not for me.
Oh,
that's a good father.
Yeah, my father-in-law is legit. He's a good guy. I mean, that's how you get a good guy. You raise a good guy, you get a good guy, right?
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say, right?
And no, in this case it did, because apparently my father-in-law is super type A and loves to do dishes, but apparently that did not continue. In that case, the apple fell like 5 yards from the tree.
Totally different orchard.
Exactly. All right, next question. What pet-related noise do you love?
Ooh, the when cats are watching birds.
Oh, the chirp.
The little the chirping.
Yes,
I love that. I love that.
Our girl Friday, I have to say, I am obsessed with. She likes kitty back rides, right? Which is like she wants to jump up on my back and just like sit there and
if she decides that she loves you, she will jump up on your back.
Yes, even if you're like brand new to the house, she's just like, oh, I like you, getting on your back. And so she likes kitty back rides is what we call them. But she like rubs her head up against my neck, and then she licks her lips. It's so weird, I know, but she licks her lips, and and that sound, I'm like, oh my God, I love you. It's like the cutest thing ever.
Oh my God, that's adorable. Most dog people will be like, when they lick themselves, it's so annoying. So I'm surprised that you think it's adorable.
Oh my God.
She just does. She has like the most dainty little face in general. And she's just like.
And it's like, oh my God, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's like when you love puppy breath, right?
Right.
I love puppy breath. And some people are like, that is gross. Like, why would you love that? You think it's gross, don't you?
No.
Do you like puppy breath?
Yeah.
Well,
who are you thinking I am?
I don't know. I don't.
What kind of a demon do you think she is that she doesn't like puppy breath?
No, I mean the smell of fresh babies.
Really?
I'm joking. I still love newborn baby smell.
I was like, I love that smell too.
My daughter is almost 2, and I sniff her every day. I'm like, God, you're so delicious. So weird.
babies have a smell, and puppies. I know that there are a lot of people that are like,
That's gross. Yeah. No, but they're
people
like,
don't get it. You know, I don't remember who it was, but one of my many Facebook friends, I remember saying that she like loved the smell of her dog's paws. She said that they smelled like popcorn. And I was like, well, that's brave to put that on social media, but you know, more power to you.
Yeah.
More power to you. More power to you. The toasty toes must make your day. That's cool. We all have our thing. All right. What pet related noise do you hate?
The hiss, maybe. I mean, the sounds that like scare me, right? So like,
a cry. Yeah, last year, 2 of our cats, not at the same time, both got caught in the lights of our Christmas tree. And the sound of, so interesting little fun fact here, not a fun topic, but interesting fun fact is that cats essentially basically vocalize to communicate with their humans. So that sound, we caught them before they were like stuck for long, but trying to get them out, the noises that they made.
Yeah, and they're like, they hiss and they're like, they're so
they're scared.
They're so scared.
Trapped. They're
trapped.
Right.
We had to cut the lights like of our
after we
brand new
unplugged the
Christmas
tree.
After we unplugged the tree
and snipped the lights.
Then we had to snip the lights.
How did they get caught? Like they were like caught. Like they tried to get out and they made it worse.
Yeah.
So we have one of these pre-lit artificial trees where they're all wired in there, right? So
they got in between.
They had the zoomies and they go flying up the tree and they went through and could not get out. So their back half is literally cutting off circulation, and it was like, and they cannot get out.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, let's see if we can try to move this. Like, nope, that's not happening. Unplug the tree, snip the wire.
Yeah.
I mean, with any animal screaming, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make them stop screaming.
No, that is definitely the worst pet-related sound.
Oh yeah, sounds awful. Okay, what pet-related profession other than social media influencers, which you guys are so proud of being, and obviously product manufacturers, entrepreneurs, what other than that would you consider doing within the pet industry?
Feeling behaviorist.
I had a feeling.
I got a feeling.
Totally. I think feline behaviors are one of the most underutilized resources for all cat parents. Always. I think we can never finish. There's no end to learning more about our cats and how their species works and lives and loves and all that. What would you do?
I don't know. I can't imagine.
Excel spreadsheets.
I know. I'm like, I can't imagine doing anything other than what we're doing in the pet world. Like there's other things like outside that like I used to want to, like my goal as a child was, even like as a child and an adult, was to like start an orphanage for children, and like although that's not even a thing anymore. It's not a thing anymore, but like to help homeless children, or like that, those kind of things. I don't know, in the pet industry, this is it. You're living your dream. I'm at the top of what I think I would want to do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What pet related profession would you never want to try?
Veterinarian. Cannot take blood, I don't even like puke, poop, anything, and I could never euthanize, even when it's absolutely necessary. I would not be able to be the one that pulled that trigger. Yeah.
Agreed.
I was going to say pet food industry, but no, you're exactly right. When I went to college the first time, being a vet was like definitely
what you wanted to do. But she was a phlebotomist. Like she's not as grossed out about all the.
No, I had to do all the gross stuff.
It's the emotional part of being a vet that you would be.
Well, and the math courses, I hate math. So I looked at the courses and I was like, and then, but you're right. It's the suffering aspect of it that I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a popular answer for this question for sure. And it's because anybody in the pet industry knows that they have one of the hardest jobs for sure.
And shout out to our veterinarians because they do the hard work, 3,700 hours per day.
Yeah.
Yes. So I've been super lucky. Shout out to my veterinarian here in El Paso. I swear she is like the modern version of Saint Francis. She named her practice. I'm Catholic. but she named her practice Holy Family Veterinary. Okay, so it's like, to her, this is like her calling, her vocation. I believe she's single. I believe this is her life. She's the only veterinarian at the practice, and I believe one of her assistants told me that on Fridays during lunch she would always take flowers to the Holy Mother at her church. So like she has been the kindest, most wonderful veterinarian. She and I don't always see eye to eye because she's very like, I would always try like the holistic stuff first. She's usually like kind of like your standard. But when it came to say goodbye to my socks, the one that I just talked about, she came to our house. She made it happen. She did the most beautiful. She even included our son, who I was pregnant I had a baby at the time, but he was old enough to understand. She was so wonderful. And like during COVID, vets don't have the extra time. And she made it happen because she knew that was my wish. So like shout out to Dr. Martinez, Holy Family in El Paso, Texas, because she is amazing. And thank you to all the vets that are just so special and so integral in like whatever part of our life we are with our pets. Like when we get puppies, how important kittens, how important are vets. Yeah. Like we're at the vet all the time because we're like new parents, like not knowing what to do with them.
Yep, yes. Exactly. Yeah.
And at the end, when they advise us, like, is it time? Is it not? There's still, there's still quality of life. There's no quality of life. Like those aren't easy conversations for professionals to have with people, and they do it. So yeah. Speaking of the Rainbow Bridge, this is the part where we get really introspective.
Uh-oh.
If the Rainbow Bridge exists, who is the first pet to greet you when you arrive?
Tiggy.
Scotch.
Yeah. So our soul kitty. So I lost Tiggy in 2007 to feline leukemia, and he was my like with me through all the really rough times in life. And so he would be mine. And Scotch was
my first rescue. I found him in a parking lot with an entire litter of kittens. I was working at a mobile blood bank at the time, so I brought him in, and my shift supervisor was an animal lover. So I brought him this 5 kittens that I just stuck in my shirt at 4 o'clock in the morning because I found him in the parking lot. And by the time I got home from my mobile blood bank drive that day, it was like 8 o'clock at night. She was waiting there, and she said, unless you take this one, I'm gonna have to bring him to the Humane Society, which was a kill shelter. And I was like, I'll take him. Like, I don't know, like I don't have cat food or no litter box, I don't have nothing, like. And his name is Scotch, not because I am a boozy pet parent. His name is Scotch because he's stuck to my shirt like Scotch tape the whole way home. So he's named after and we lost him, he was almost 22 years old.
December 1st, 2018.
But he, one of our best, Tiggy and Scotch both, some of our best teachers.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. I heard that I read that Tiggy inspired a lot of these steps for you.
Oh, yeah.
He was that moment. It was before we realized what feline leukemia really was, what was going on.
We had no idea. We thought it was cancer. I mean, the vet thought it was cancer, apparently, because they did recommend chemotherapy. They were like, the only other thing we can do is chemotherapy. And I'm like...
And they told us all of our other cats were going to die, bring them in to get them tested, and we'll figure out the course of... And it was like, what is happening right now? And how did we get it? Like, they weren't outdoor cats. Like, what is going on? He must have been a carrier since he was very young. I don't know. Yeah. All of other cats tested negative.
Twist is still with us today.
None of our other cats passed from feline leukemia, but Tiggy and Scotch certainly are our best teachers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And I hope they're still there. They're still in the process and the inspiration.
Oh, yeah. Can I tell you a little story? Because this is almost like woo woo, but it's kind of blow our minds.
I love woo woo. Woo woo is always welcome here.
Okay. Yay! Okay. Good. Okay. So we lost Mama and Scotch. So she found Scotch when, and then Mama, like how much later?
6-9 months later, I found Mama abandoned in a riverbank in Tennessee.
Yeah. So she had them together, and they, through their entire lives, they snuggled. They had 5 babies together.
Because I didn't know that female cats can get pregnant at 6 months old, so she did.
Yeah,
Had
right.
5 kittens, so I really appreciate your bottle feeding and all that stuff.
Because
She had a mammary gland infection. She collapsed her uterus. We almost lost her. All 5 babies survived. She survived, but it was a harrowing experience.
Yeah.
So her name is Cleo, but forever was known as Mama.
because she was
Right.
Yeah. So they were like a bonded pair through their entire lives. At 18, and she wasn't supposed to live past a year
Yeah,
of
they
age.
said she-
And at 18, she passed, and it was a traumatic experience for us because we get up in the morning, and we had been working for a year through like some IBD type of issues and different things like that with her. But she, we woke up, she chased my shoelaces like she always did in the morning when I was putting on my running shoes. But then she just started sneezing, and she started sneezing blood everywhere. So it was one of those rush to the vet and get her and what's happening. And they said she had a tumor, and
It ruptured
it
in her lungs and she was
ruptured,
drowning.
and she was ready to drown. And so we had to say goodbye, like in this very fast type of moment, right? Like those Mack truck situations, as
Right.
Dr. Becker says. Like, so it was like, eek, horrible, come home. We're both just can't even talk to each other. And I don't know why. I think she was the beginning of it. Like, we pour whiskey whenever one of our pets dies. Like, that's just like what we do. And then we go outside and we drink
It's a
our
good
whiskey.
coping mechanism, right?
I don't know why. I don't know, but it's just one of our things because we
You
can't
pour
talk.
one out. That's what you do. You pour one out for the loved
So we
one.
put it
Yeah.
with-
Yeah.
So we're sitting out on around our fire pit area in our backyard, and this mockingbird flies down to like the lowest, and we still haven't talked to each other. Mockingbird flies down to like the lowest branch on the tree above us, which was like hanging over, and it just started sneezing exactly like she did that morning, where it was
And
it
what
just
you
started
don't know,
sneezing. And we were like,
backstory is that in Tennessee, Mama would go crazy with the mockingbird. She would just go nuts. They would dive bomb her in the backyard.
in our backyard, she would like lay on
It
her
was like,
back and like,
so she came back as a mockingbird. Totally rural.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Birds are always something that I associate with spirit. And
Yes.
so I totally believe that.
I'm telling you. So we were like, okay, this is totally a sign. And we 100% just knew that it was at least, just a sign of her coming to us saying she's okay and whatnot. But this was, she passed in 2015, February of 2015.
And it was very tough for Scotch.
And it was very tough for Scotch. But I'm telling you, to this day, there's a mockingbird that stays in our backyard. And this mockingbird
Protects our backyard.
protects our backyard. Like, we have videos from today.
Chases-
Like, literally chases off every pigeon. There's one pigeon lately that she likes,
I think there's a love affair.
but once chased off, and we have video of this too, a hawk in our front yard.
A hawk.
A hawk that was eating a duck was literally like dive bombing this hawk.
And we're like,
like-
Mama.
And so every morning she pops up and we're like, hi, Mama. Like, because we always call her Mama.
So Mama's
So-
waiting for us
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
For sure. And our Mr. Biddles, we've lost some beautiful teachers along the way. Who's
Yeah.
waiting for you,
Yeah.
you think? Who's going to be first?
Gosh, I always say Bachi because I think she started me on the woo-woo journey. When I said goodbye to Bachi, this was like summer of 2010, maybe 2012, I can't remember. And it was summer. I was in Miami. I was saying goodbye to her. We were going on a cruise, and my mom was taking her to the boarding facility, our friend Flavia, where she used to stay at her house. And I said goodbye to Bachi. Like, she's in the back seat of the car, and I say goodbye. Oops. And I don't know if it was intuition or if it was Bachi speaking to me, but something bigger than me said, this is the last time we're going to see each other.
She wasn't sick. She was
not sick. She was older. She had like a thyroid medication she took. I think she was like 10, 11. She was a little dog. She could have lived to 18 even, in that December, she passed away. And so it was so real for me. I lost it crying. Like, I'm in like my hat to go to like the port to take my cruise. And I walk into my house. My uncle's waiting there because he's going to drive us to the port. And I'm bawling. And they're all like, what just happened? And I tell them, and they're all like, nah. So when 3 months later, that December, she passes away unexpectedly.
Oh.
I think they believed me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think because she's the one that opens some kind of portal for me.
Yeah.
Open the woo-woo door.
Yeah.
It's true. You know, they say that cats are spiritual protectors. I think that's like a thing with our companion animals that
In general.
they really do help us gain a bigger perspective.
Yes, I think that's why it's so hard to lose them, because we like lose
They're so
a guide.
Yes.
Yeah, so true.
A guide and a teacher.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, I have so enjoyed speaking to you. I am definitely going to take you up on that offer for a weekend in Vegas at some point. Please let us hopefully run into each other in the actual real world once, conferences and things happen. Please keep in touch. I've so enjoyed getting to know you guys.
Likewise.
Yes.
You are a kindred spirit for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And
sure,
please keep me posted on 2022 secrets and announcements. I cannot wait to celebrate all of your successes.
Oh, it's going to be
likewise.
amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all that you do. You're an incredible human.
Oh, likewise. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Seriously, I feel like